Women's Boxer of the Year, and this is a tough, not super tough. It was between Lukie Arata, who had 4 wins, but Elif Nur Turhan stole the award at the end of the year. 3 wins, 3 knockout victories, starts the year in March, knocking out Shawno Brown, who had won on the J.A. Pataya card in January. And I was like, maybe this is a contender. You know, this is someone, she won in January. She's coming back in March. She's fighting a fighter that I'm not familiar with in Turhan. She gets knocked out basically with the first clean punch in 45 seconds into the fight. Pretty darn impressive. Returns going down to 130 pounds, fights a top undefeated fighter in France, goes to France and beats that fighter by stoppage, and then ends her year fighting one of the most promising up-and-comers in the division, the IBF lightweight women's champion, Beatriz Vieira, someone that I think has a lot of potential to be a star in the sport, to be one of these next-generation fighters. She dropped her multiple times and essentially just beat her down. The thing about Turhan that's really interesting is she's throwing all power punches, but the punches aren't really coming that fast. But there's a level of confidence that she has that when she lands, it will change fights. It definitely feels like at some point someone might outbox her because there's not a super level of craft to it, but there has to be craft, right? Because Beatriz Vieira, I think, is one of these top operators who will be at the highest level of the sport at a certain point. And she caught her in the first round with a devastating blow that changed the course of the fight. So Elif Nur Turhan, I follow women's boxing to a pretty good extent. I had no clue who she was heading into this year. Now she's a belt holder, and if you make a fight with anyone, they're targeting Caroline Dubois. That's a great fight. They're targeting tons of fights, and I think that those are all interesting bouts. You know, no matter where they're going and what they do, I think those are the fights that we want to see. So, Elif Nur Turhan, your women's boxer of the year, because she got 3 knockout victories. Each fight was definitive. She essentially fought with no A-side advantages. She took fights that basically were difficult fights, hard fights, and won them definitively via stoppage, and becomes one of the more interesting players in the women's boxing division.